All right, everyone, we're back online. Sorry for the little hiccup there. We had a little issue with our broadcast, but here we go. We're back, and we're going to go ahead and continue with our cooking lesson.
You want to start right from the beginning?
Yeah, we're going to start right from the beginning here. So today we're going to be making a smoked salmon sandwich with a caper and lemon cream cheese, as well as some nice, yummy, fresh vegetables. So I've got my toaster here, and I've got some smoked salmon here in a package, as well as a couple slices of nice whole grain bread. You can use whatever bread you want, but I like a whole grain because I'm a little health conscious, you know. So then we also have some capers, which I'm going to bring over real quick so you can see what they look like. So capers are these little green things here. They are basically pickled flower buds from a specific type of juniper bush. And if you're not a big fan of olives, these are a really good alternative to those, but I love olives, so I'm not going to do that. But in this particular recipe, capers provide a nice salty sour note that's going to go really, really well with that kind of fatty salmon that we've got and the cream cheese that's nice and rich. So from there, we've got a lemon, a Roma tomato, a nice big red onion here, as well as some arugula. Arugula is also known in some parts of the world as rocket. And it's basically just a nice springy vegetable. It's something you can use in like a salad. It's nice and leafy, but it provides a really fascinating little bitter tone, as well as a little peppery kick. Beyond that, we've also got our cream cheese, which I have actually pre-mixed with some capers just for time. You can add fresh herbs to that if you want. I know like dill with capers is a really, really good flavor profile. Then we've also got some fresh pepper and some flaked sea salt. This stuff, I'm going to bring it a little closer so you can see. So this is Malden sea salt flakes. These are very large flakes of crunchy salt that are actually kind of pyramid-like in shape. I don't know if I can really get one close enough to see, but these are pretty big chunks of salt here. These aren't really for seasoning food, but what they're great for is finishing a dish with a nice little crunchy bit at the end. So once we're ready to go there, we're going to go ahead and, well, first I'm going to pop my toast here into the toaster so that we can get a nice golden brown on that. Fun little fact for you, browning means flavor, and that's a good thing for anytime you're cooking anything. So we're going to go ahead and slice into our red onion first. I'm going to take the top section here off because it is quite big and unruly. And then we're going to go ahead and, with the root end and the front there, we're going to go straight down the center with it, revealing two beautiful halves of an onion. Once you've got it at that stage, all you've got to do is cut the side that is not the root part. You want to keep the root part intact because if you cut into that and you go to try to chop up the onion, it's not really going to work for you. It's going to fall apart. So if you keep that intact, it'll help stay stable for you. So we're going to cut the little top of that off there, peel away our dry, papery layers of onion, exposing that nice, beautiful vegetable underneath. And you can cut this about any way you want, but for sandwiches and stuff, I like to quarter it from there and then just start very thinly slicing bits of that off. If you slice it like that, you'll get a nice shape kind of like that, and it fans out really nicely. So we've got enough there for one sandwich. We're now going to move on. Well, here, let me actually cut one more piece of these off. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and go to our Roma tomato. So Roma tomatoes are really nice because they have a little more flavor than your common like deli or what's known as a beefsteak tomato. You know, those big juicy ones that you use for burgers. They're a little more flavorful and they're not quite as messy. So I like to use these a lot of the time. Oh, there's the toast and not quite there. We're going to let that go in a minute. All right, so we're going to go ahead and cut into our tomato here and hopefully not make too much of a mess because I still got to construct my sandwich on here. And once we've got enough slices for our sandwich, We'll go ahead and put those off to the side and move over to our lemon. So when you're using a citrus like this and you're trying to get the juice out of it, if you want that, which is what we're going to use this for, what you want to do with it is put it on a countertop and roll it gently back and forth with your hands until you feel it softening up. What that's doing is it's freeing a lot of the juice from the pulp that's inside the fruit. Once we've got that, we'll go ahead and cut that right down the middle, revealing a lovely, beautiful, juicy lemon. We're going to put that off to the side, and I think, yeah, our toast is perfect now. Ooh, it's hot though. So let's have a little talk about salmon, huh? We've got smoked salmon today, and salmon is very, very good for you. It's very high in omega fatty acids, specifically omega-3, which are really, really good for heart and brain health. So the fats that are in this, they're really, really good for you. And it's recommended actually by a lot of dietitians and medical societies that you should try to incorporate a fatty fish like salmon into your diet at least once a week. That being said, we're going to do this with smoked salmon, which is basically what that name means. It's smoked. But one fact about this stuff is that it's technically raw. But it's safe to eat raw because it is also cured in salt, and then the smoking process also does a good job of curing that. And essentially what curing something means is preserving it in its raw state to make it safe to eat at any time. So pickles are like this. Cured, there's salami and pepperoni out there. You can have things like prosciutto. You can even cure fruit. Like one popular ingredient in Morocco is actually cured lemons, which are nice and salty and really tart and a really good thing to add to things like stews or soups. They're really, really good for that. You can also caramelize them, and that's fantastic. But now we're going to go ahead and move on as we are pretty much ready to construct our sandwich. So I've got a nice butter knife here, as well as my caper cream cheese. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give this a little mix, and then I'm actually going to squeeze some of that lemon into the cream cheese, which is going to make it a little bit more loose and easy to spread. Oh, I got a seed in there. Let's pop that out. All right, now we're going to go ahead and give that a stir until that lemon juice has incorporated in, and then we'll be ready to do our sandwich. This is a little, this is inspired actually by a really great salmon plate that I used to have at a restaurant here in Ypsilanti called Bonacera that unfortunately isn't there anymore. But they had a lovely smoked salmon plate there, and they would serve it with a nice bagel and some smoked salt, as well as some cucumber slices and all the other stuff that we've got here. So I, one day, just decided to start making a sandwich out of that, and it is now one of my favorite recipes. All right, so once we've got that incorporated and we're ready to spread our stuff, we're going to go ahead and do exactly that. Get that nice cream cheese on it. I like to put cream cheese on both sides of the sandwich because the cheese is actually going to create a barrier from the bread so that the tomatoes don't make it soggy. It's a fun little tip for you for when you're making sandwiches at home, everybody. If you put something fatty like mayonnaise or cream cheese on here and you cover every surface of the bread, it won't get soggy from your vegetables. Almost done spreading. This is looking so good already. I am so excited. I have not eaten yet today, and this is going to be my breakfast. All right, so we've got our cream cheese there spread all over. Now we're going to go ahead and take a piece of our salmon. And smoked salmon is a pretty strong piece of fish, so we don't really need much. I'm trying not to touch too much of it because it's also very smelly. You know, it smells like smoke. All right, so get a couple of those nice delicate little slices there. Go ahead and take another little piece here until we've got full coverage on there. So we've got that pretty much covered completely. Now we're going to go ahead and take some of our arugula. And we're going to put that on the other side because we want the arugula to stick. All right, so we've got a nice bed of greens there on one side of the bread now. So I'm going to take my black pepper here, and I'm going to crack some onto our smoked salmon. And then I'm also going to do a little sprinkle of our flaky sea salt. And again, that's going to give us crunch and flavor. If I was feeling really decadent, I would even put a little drizzle of olive oil on here, but I'm not feeling that decadent today. All right, next we're going to put some of our red onion slices here on our salmon. Get that nice and scattered around. And once we've got that, we then are going to move on to our sliced tomatoes. I've got 4 individual tomato slices here that I'm putting on this one. And once we're good there, we just got to turn our arugula side over. And then we're going to give this a little press down to make sure that it's all incorporated together. And cut into it. So everyone, here we go. Our cross section. A lovely little smoked salmon sandwich for you. You can eat this for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Doesn't matter. It's just a really fun way to incorporate some good, healthy salmon into your diet. And I'm going to go ahead and take the first bite here. That is just delicious, everyone. Yeah, you can riff on this if you want. Like I said, you can add cucumbers to this. You could add pickles if you want them to be a little more tart and sour, but that's just fresh and lovely anyway. So that's it, everyone. Smoked salmon sandwiches. Thank you for joining me for this little cooking lesson. I've been inebriated, and it's been my pleasure to show you something like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the one, the only, in her car, Miss Inebriated!
All right, everyone. We're going to keep the show moving right along. And please welcome to the stage the one, the only, Miss Jaden Black.
Joyful, joyful Lord, we adore thee. God of glory, Lord of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee. Healthy as the sun above. Where the clouds of sin and sadness drive the dark of doubt away. We were so glad. Fill us with a light. Fill us with a light. Oh, fill us with a light of day.
Joyful, Lord, we adore thee. And in my life, I've been none before thee. Cause since I was a youngster, I came to know that you was the only way to go. So I have to go and come to understanding that I'm down with the king, so now I'm commanded that you tell me who you're down with. See, cause all I know is that I'm down with G.O.D. You know what G.O.D. You know what G.O.D. You know what G.O.D. You know what G.O.D. Yes. When the morning star began.
He watches over everything. So we sing, Lord, 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 God of glory, always need you, yes we do, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Fade in black, everybody.
Yes, everybody. That just gets me going in a great mood from Sister Act 2. Love that song and that whole production. Make some noise for all of my backup dancers. Weren't they amazing? Yes. Make some noise to your next entertainer. We're going to go into some more. We're going to go into story time, okay, guys? I'm excited to celebrate my birthday with all of you next week. Keep on donating today if you can. I appreciate everybody that is donating today. It's been a great Saturday, so keep on donating if you can. Make some noise to the one, the only, Mr. Austin Bone, everybody. Where's story time?
Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to part 2 of Learning to Drag. We're glad you came back to join us. Today we are reading I'll Walk With You. And it is by words by Carl Lynn Pearson, art by Jane Sanders. I'm very excited. The back says, everyone deserves to be loved and accepted, no matter how they look, where they come from, or what their age and abilities are. I'm excited. I'll walk with you. If you don't walk as most people do, some people walk away from you. But I won't. I'll walk beside and match your stride. That's how I'll show my love for you. If you don't talk as most people do, some people talk and laugh at you. But I won't. I'll talk with you and giggle too. That's how I'll show my love for you. If you don't look like some people do, some people just look down on you. But I won't. I will see you're made perfectly. That's how I'll show my love for you. If you're not as young as if you're not as young as some are young, some people think you're just no fun. But I won't. I'll listen to and learn from you. That's how I'll show my love for you. If you were born far, far away, some people think you should not stay. But I won't. I know you bring such interesting things. That's how I'll show my love for you. If you don't pray as some people pray, Some people pray you'll go away. But I won't. We're all, I see, one family. That's how I'll show my love for you. If you can't buy expensive stuff, some people think you're not good enough. But I won't. I'll look inside where treasures hide. That's how I'll show my love for you. If you don't love as some people do, some people think your love's not true. But I won't. I'll watch you share. I'll see you care. That's how I'll show my love for you. If you don't think as some people have no use for you. But I will. Our thoughts will play and stay all day. That's how I'll show my love for you. I'll walk with you and talk with you. That's how I'll show my love for you. Little author notes. Carol says, to many who have walked with me over the years in sunshine and in storm. And Jane says, for my late husband, Howard, who walks with me always. And that is I'll Walk With You. Words by Carolyn Pearson, art by Jane Sanders. I agree with Julie. I really like this book because it was kind of short. We're going to talk about just a little bit for my older friends, because this was good for younger friends too. But for my older friends who can understand things a little bit more because they've been through life a little bit longer, some things to point out. So we have examples of bullying. And maybe you've kind of experienced this one where either you've seen someone who sits in a corner all by themselves in class or on the playground, or maybe it was you who sat all by themselves in class or on the playground. You may know what it's like to feel alone. And if you don't, try to imagine what it would feel like if you didn't have all your friends at recess. How crazy would that be, right? So when we see someone who's all by themselves and probably getting made fun of, and that's why they're by themselves, it's always good to go check on them, see how they're doing. Like it says, I'll talk with you and giggle too. So you can never be afraid to be judged, because you could change someone's life with just saying hello to them. What are some other examples? There's the one where it says, if you don't look like some people do. I can relate to that one from being transgender. A lot of people, when I was trying to figure out what gender I was supposed to be, a lot of people made fun of me for not looking like a girl, because I was trying to figure out what I wanted to look like. So, when you see someone who's struggling with their looks, or maybe they're not struggling with their looks, they look exactly the way that they want to look, but people don't understand, it's always good to give them compliments. Find something on their body that you like about them, whether it's their shirt, or maybe they have really cool sneakers, maybe they have some cool glasses or braces. A lot of people who have braces have the choice to have really fun colors. So there's this example. If you're not as young as some are young, You know, when we see older people, our first assumption is what we see on TV or in movies. You know, when we see like the old mean man or the old mean woman across the street and everyone's scared of their house, but that's not always the case, right? Sometimes people that are older than us like to have fun and they like to play and they like to laugh because they used to be your age once. So they know what it's like to have fun. And sometimes you just have to remind them. We have this example. If you were born far, far away, that relates a lot to what we're going through in America with people coming from other countries to come to our country to feel safe. It's always good to welcome people. So there's a lot of different examples in this book, but I think it all boils down to what you may see just in your everyday classroom with bullying. And I think that's really important to remember that everyone deserves love, everyone deserves acceptance, and that includes you because you are loved and you are worthy of love. I hope you have a great rest of your Saturday, and I'm going to welcome back the cast of Boylesque. We have Jaden Black, Ani Briated, and Hershey Chocolate.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And for those that have donated, we appreciate each and every one of you. That was amazing story by Austin Moan. Makes the noise for Austin Moan again. Yes. So makes the noise for Hershey Chocolate. She is outside. Thank you so much for choosing to join us this Saturday, each Saturday with us. Don't forget, next Saturday we have our family-friendly show, and then right directly afterwards, right at 1 o'clock. Next show will.
No, but it's falling.
My bad.
Show. Next Saturday, directly right after the show at 1 o'clock, you can see myself and Denise Russell doing a gospel brunch. All live vocals with that. That is going to be amazing. Also, next Wednesday, join us for Evening Vibes with Austin Moan and myself as a special guest, celebrating my birthday. Might do something on Thursday, but if you're available on Friday, please get your ticket to bingo. We're raising money for April Austin's multiple sclerosis stem cell transplant. So until then, we'll be back again next Saturday. Thank you for choosing to spend your Saturdays with us. We love you.
Deuces, son.
Remember the homework and good night.